real enemy of medicine, unfortunately, is often medicine itself, often another doctor. I tell all of my students and residents, consider the impact of each of your actions on your profession. And what I mean by this is that for every malpractice case, a doctor is a witness. For every insurance company, there's a medical director that oversees things like pre-certification, formulas of medicine, and virtually every financial decision that impact doctors. Finally, legislatures and hospitals are indifferent to physician input, mainly because of the clear sense of apathy within our community. We can all think of a colleague, and actually we can all think of one now, who rants and raves about how bad medicine is, yet never attends meetings, never votes on issues, and has no involvement in the medical society. No one is going to take us seriously until we take ourselves more seriously. So how does this happen? As physicians, we are ingrained with the individual competitive spirit by which we excel, and it gets persistently reinforced through college, through medical school, and through training. In this time, the competitive nature actually works against us. As we go on as physicians, we focus on individual difference rather than the common ground. So can it be different? Yes, it can, and I plan to tell you how. The goal is a unified physician voice that will demand inclusion in health and implementing healthcare policy, will bargain for reimbursement and reshape the tort system, and perhaps most importantly, police ourselves. Note that I advocate unification, not unionization. I will today present two models of competitive groups of well-paid professionals that afford great strength and wealth and unity. I want to read two statements that should resonate throughout all of medicine. The successful founding of the Major League Baseball Players Association changed the landscape of professional sports forever, serving notice that highly skilled athletes would seek the same basic employment rights that people in other professions had long taken for granted. Unionization in baseball goes back almost as far as baseball itself. The first player union was formed in 1885. Subsequent unions were formed in 1900, 1912, and 1946. All of these proved insufficient in bringing an end to the reserve clause, which bound players to their respective clubs. Players, however, reorganized in 1965 and sought outside expertise. Their search led them to Marvin Miller, a highly respected economist for the United Steelworkers of America. His first step would shore up the union's finances by bringing a group licensing program and educating the players about the fundamentals of organizing and solidarity. In 1968, Miller helped negotiate the first ever collective bargaining agreement in professional sports. The agreement raised the minimum salary of a baseball player from $6,000, where it had been since the 40s, to $10,000 and set the tone for future advances. During his tenure, base salaries, pension funds, licensing rights, and revenues were brought to new levels, laying the groundwork that helped create what is widely considered one of the strongest unions in the world. I remind you, the minimum salary of a Major League Baseball player in 1965 was $6,000. In 2008, the minimum salary was $390,000, and the average salary was $2.82 million. The second statement reads, the Screen Actors Guild is a representative democracy run by the members for the benefit of the members. SAG encourages all members to actively participate in guild activities. You can help make critical decisions that have an impact on your union by voting on referenda, serving on the National Division Board of Directors, or joining committees in your area. Let your voice be heard. Decisions are made by those who participate. A brief backdrop on how SAG was founded from their website. It reads, imagine working on a film or else you're with unrestricted hours, no enforced turnaround, and no required meal breaks. Imagine working under a long-term contract that you cannot break, and more likely you'll be forced to renew. For a producer or employer who can tell you who you can marry, what your morals must be, and even what political opinions to hold. Some of us in this room find this not so implausible to imagine. Well, this was Hollywood 1933, under the studio system. Rebel against the studio, and you better to quit and face the repercussions. Fortunately, a group of actors risked their careers to start the Screen Actors Guild. Studio boss Irvin Thalberg, a founder of MGM, swore he would die before accepting the guild. In 1936, Thalberg died, and in 1937, the studios accepted defeat and signed a contract with the guild that, for the first time in Hollywood, gave actors a sense of empowerment. I want to rephrase the SAG mission statement now, and I want all the physicians in the room to pay close attention. Blank is a representative democracy run by members for the benefit of members. encourages all members to actively participate in activities. You can help make critical decisions that have an impact on your profession by voting on referenda, serving on the national or division boards, or by joining committees in your area. Let your voice be heard. Decisions are made by those who participate. So what lessons can we take from these two groups? Well, they are wealthy professionals, not dissimilar from us. They exist to compete. They compete for roles on the screen, and they compete on the field of play. Yet they share common vision towards their collective goals. And how do they succeed? They succeed through unity and financial support. The Major League Baseball Players Association dues are $50 per day during the season, or approximately $11,000 per player per year. SAG dues are only $115, plus 1.85% of all SAG-related earnings for the antecedent year. Just the top 10 Hollywood actors earned approximately $700 million in 2007, generating $13 million from the Screen Actors Guild. Their money buys influence, power, legal advice, benefits, pensions, and better working conditions. So what do I seek for my fellow physicians? I wish to increase the profile of the Bergen County Medical Society and organized medicine in general. I plan to use 21st technology, such as a Facebook page, MD blogs, and even news ads to make us a more prominent presence in the community. Heck, we'll even tweet if we have to. My goal is to speak the voice of you, the doctors I represent. It is not my voice, it is our voice. I need ideas, I need more members, we need more money. Now, what goals do I have for organized medicine? Simply, medicine needs to be a force to be reckoned with. A body of diverse professionals who share certain common goals and strive to be a unified voice, as we've seen with the screen actors and the baseball players. Doctors need to be viewed as a fundamental and irreplaceable force, to be included in any and all healthcare negotiations, insurance company discussions, Medicare legislation, tort reform, before implementing unthinkable regulations such as a cultural competency exam and the like. All of these instances would go forward only with legitimate physician input. An example I pose to you is the cultural competency exam that most of you sat through or will sit through in the coming weeks. Imagine for a moment that of the 20,000 or so doctors in New Jersey, 18,000 refused to take the exam. What would the legislature do on July 2nd? The public simply would not stand for 90% of the doctors not having licenses. That's unity. We do need to mandate self-discipline. We need to increase the association between the medical society and state medical boards. For example, we need to make reporting of medical events mandatory but not indemnifying. This is similar to what the Airline Pilot Association does with adverse events in the cockpit. They must be reported and they must be reviewed. People who are not up to standard must be remediated, but it cannot be a feeding frenzy for litigation. Subsequently, my greatest goal in all organized medicine is tort reform. Not by caps or by legislative means that we will have to beg and plead for, and that can be reversed in a second. We must fix it ourselves. I have a proposal to accomplish this, and it's a preliminary thought, and it's the first time I'm speaking of it. But it's to have specialty boards nominate physicians who have applied to be expert witnesses. I propose a separate American Board of Medical Specialty Board of Certification and Expert Witness. The individual specialty boards will review the physician's credentials, verify that they are practicing, that they have expertise in the area in which they wish to testify. Candidates would eventually sit for a board exam and then become a board-certified expert witness in their specialty only. They would be required to maintain certification with routine reviews by their specialty boards. As a result, specialty boards would have some control over expert witnesses testifying with regards to their own specialty. In closing, I would like to say that medicine is the greatest profession. It is a noble profession. Physicians in the United States provide the highest level of medical care on earth. It is a time of great change, as we've heard tonight, and evolution for medicine right now. And it is our mandate to be an integral part of this process. My pledge is to do my part and to involve all those interested. Your duty is to join me. A quote by Roman historian Sallust says, "By union, the smallest states thrive. By discord, the greatest are destroyed."